Hello, grade 6. Are you ready for our next lesson? Now get your book, open it on pages 37 to 39, add and subtract decimals. Amanda and three of her friends volunteer at the local animal shelter. One of their jobs is to weigh the puppies and kittens and chart their growth. Amanda's favorite puppy weighed 2 and 358 thousandths pounds last month. If it gained 1 and 800ths pound, how much does it weigh this month?
To solve the problem, we need to add 2 and 358 thousandths and 1 and 800ths. What have you noticed with our addends? Correct. Our addends have different decimal places since the first addend has 3 decimal places and the second addend has 2 decimal places only. But do you think it will be a problem? You're right. It won't be a problem at all. Though we know that it is common and appropriate to write zeros to make the addends have the same number of decimal places, it is not necessary mathematically, so long as the place values are aligned properly. So we need to align them to add the two numbers. As you can see, 2 and 1 are on the same place values. They are on the ones place. And it's very important that you see your decimal points aligned also. So that goes the same with the place values. Then, if you do this, then you can add your addends correctly because you will just simply add them the way you add whole numbers. So, let us add them now. It doesn't matter if there is no number or digit below 8. So that means it is 0. So we can just bring down 8. And then 5 plus 8, that's 13. So 3, regroup 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. 2 plus 1 is 3. Now in the sum, you have to align also the decimal point. So that means the answer is 3 and 438 thousandths. Now we need to subtract 5 minus 1.836 or 5 minus 1 and 836 thousandths. Now let us write them vertically. Now 5 here is a whole number and it is in the ones place. So we need to follow the same concept that we have in addition. We have to align the same place values correctly. So here in our second number, which is the subtrahend, we have 1 in the ones place. So it has the same place value as 5. That means we need to align them. So we have 5 minus 1.836. Now what have you noticed here? There are no digits at the right of 5. But in subtraction, we need to have at least the same number of decimal places, or the minuend or the first number should have more decimal places than the subtrahend. So what does it mean? We need to have the same decimal places here with the second number, or we can have more decimal places in the first number than in the second number. To do that, without changing the value of 5, we can put 0.000. Now, putting 0.000 does not change the value of 5. It is still 5. Even if I put more zeros here, still the value of this number is 5. Now we have the same decimal places. We have here 3 decimal places and we have 3 decimal places here. Now we can proceed with our subtraction. So we'll start with the thousandths place. We have 0 minus 6. And 0 is smaller than 6, so that cannot be. That means we need to borrow to the first That means we need to borrow from the next place value. But that next place value is 0 also, so that means we will be borrowing from 5. So 5 will be 4, and this 0 here will be 10. But this 0 will borrow from it, so it will become 9, and this will be 10. But the thousandth place 0 will borrow from it, it will be 9, and the last 0 will be 10. Now we can subtract 10 and 6, and that will give us 4. We have here 9 minus 3, that is 6. 9 minus 8 is 1. And 4 minus 1 is 3. Now do not forget to put your decimal point, and remember that decimal point in the answer is still aligned with our subtrahend and minuend. That means the answer to our problem is 3.164 or 3 and 164 thousandths. Now, let us evaluate this expression using the order of operations. We have the quantity of 6.5 minus 1.97 plus 3.461. Remember to follow the order of operations. So since we have grouping symbols here, we have to perform the operations inside this grouping symbol first. So we will have subtraction. So as you can see, 6.5 has lesser place value or decimal places than 1.97. And it cannot be like that. So we need to put 0. You're right. Now, since they have the same decimal places already, then we can proceed with our subtraction. We'll start with the hundreds place. So we have 0 minus 7, and that cannot be. So we will borrow from 5. 5 will be 4, and this will be 10. 10 minus 7, that's 3. 4 minus 9, okay, correct. That cannot be because 4 is smaller. So we need to borrow from 6. That means 6 will be 5 and 4 will be 14. So 14 minus 9 is 5 and 5 minus 1 is 4. Now what do you think are we missing? Excellent! We missed that decimal point that is also aligned with our subtrahend and our minuend. That means the answer to the expression inside the grouping symbol is 4.53. Now, we don't stop there because we still have plus 3.461. That means this answer here should be added to 3.461. So you can see here that we have different decimal places. We have 2 decimal places in the first addend, and we have 3 decimal places in the second addend. But just like what I told you a while ago, it doesn't matter in addition. If you want to put 0 here, it doesn't matter because that will not change the value. So we can add them now. So even if you don't put 0, still that will give you the same answer. 0 plus 1 is 1, 3 plus 6 is 9, 5 plus 4 is 9, and 4 plus 3 is 7. And do not forget that decimal point that you need to align. So that means for the whole expression, the answer is 7.991 or 7 and 991 thousandths. Now, you may have noticed that I'm reading it differently because decimal numbers like this, if we have decimal point that is read as end, and then we use our decimal places in reading them. So, the place value of our decimal places. Just like here, the last digit is 1 and it is in the thousandths place. So, I read it as 7 and 991 thousandths. You read the last place.
For your classwork, do page 39, numbers 5 to 8. And for the homework, do page 41, numbers 2 to 6.
Please be reminded of the upcoming quiz number 1 in math. For batch 1 will be on September 26 and for batch 2 will be on September 28. Please see pointers attached in your homework diary.
I hope you learned a lot today. And if you do, can you sing with me? We learned a lot today. We learned a lot today. We are all happy now. We learned a lot today.